Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Rhonda Lynn with the Social Therapy Podcast, where we talk about current events and how that plays into our everyday life. Because, hey, there be lessons thrown out here every day on social media about what's going on, and regular people be having these issues too. So let's get into it, okay? So today we're talking about what's your motive and how that applies to the current situation with Dannileigh and DaBaby. Now, I wasn't even really going to touch on this at first, but I do see the opportunity in the situation. So then I decided we're going to go ahead and dive deep into it, okay? But you already know, before we go any further, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor because they pay the bills around here. And now, turns out I need a brand new computer because if you remember last week, it hit the dust. Okay, so we still recording on the cell phone, but we in it. Okay. So, anyways, Motivated Coffee, #1 coffee on the internet, smooth, non-acidic, slow roasted to perfection. Make sure you head over to Motivated Coffee today, get your free shipping, and try it out at motivatedcoffee.com. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Let's go ahead and get into the sauce, okay? So first of all, I want to say this. The more you do for people, the less you get in return. And basically, that's just like an old American proverb, right? It is today. It is today, okay? A lot of people think that the more you provide, the more present you are, that the more respect and same in return that you will receive or get from people, right? But it doesn't work that way, does it? How many times have you literally been at work, been in your relationship, dealing with friends or whatever, and you've given 110%, you 10 toes down, you ride or die, And what do you get in return? You don't get that same energy. That's for darn sure. You might not even get that promotion. It seems like with these jobs these days, it's like the harder you work, the more you perfect your craft or whatever, the less likely they are to move you around because you have become so good in your current position that they can't even afford to let you go. So they're going to suppress you and keep you in that position because it benefits them. And that plays around in so many other situations. I mean, if you think about like the current situation with Dannileigh and DaBaby or whatever. Now, word on the curb is that he was in a relationship with a black woman when he started messing with Dannileigh, who is Hispanic, right? Not that that really matters, really. It doesn't really matter, besides the fact that some of the things that she has said has been pretty controversial in that aspect. And that's the only reason why I bring it up is because she brought it up and she's made records about it or whatever. But we're going to move past that right now, okay? But it was a factor in her character and her clout chasing at the time when she took this man from his current woman, baby mama, girlfriend, or whatever she want to be known as, right? So during the situation that was live on social media, on Instagram is where I seen it, he told her, like, you like a professional side chick. And you could tell by her response to that cut deep, like that hurt, because obviously she ain't see herself that way. But I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, like, can you really be a side chick to someone who's not married? Can you? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it sucks to be in a long-term relationship with somebody and then get cheated on and then get left for the person that they cheated on you with. Trust me, I've been there. Unfortunately. But if the person was never married, you can't be a side chick, right? It's just a transfer of title, transfer of relationship, transfer of energy from one person to the next. And until anybody makes like a real official commitment to anyone, we're all still really considered to be single. Let's just be honest here. I mean, me personally, I'm single till I'm married. So I could be with you for years, but if we are not committed to each other, there is always a possibility that you or I could be replaced. And that's something that you have to keep in the back of your head when you're dealing with people, because no one has made a real commitment. Nothing is official, right? And we all know that in any other aspect of life, whenever you do anything that's not official, it could fall apart at a moment's notice. Just like how that situation played out with her and her baby daddy, right? Her and the baby, right? I mean, he, you know, woke up one day and was like, "You gotta go," and there was really nothing she could do about it. I mean, she tried to stay, she tried to stick around, she tried to plead her case or whatever. She didn't want to leave. She just had a baby, and that's another thing. It's like, when you just have a baby, you are in like a weakened state, physically and emotionally. And for someone to wait until that moment, when you're in that type of situation, right, when you're basically incapacitated, to take advantage of your situation, your inability to be completely focused to defend yourself or whatever, that's low. That's low, and that doesn't change whether you're married or not, right? If that's who you are, that's your character, you're gonna be on that type of bull crap whether you're somebody's husband or boyfriend. Let's just be honest, right? It's a character flaw. I feel bad for her. I really do. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like regardless of, what race you are or whatever, as a woman, right? I'm identifying with her as a woman. I feel like she did not deserve that, right? And I also feel like it was completely wrong for that situation to be broadcasted on social media for the world to see. It's like people really try their hardest to try to hit you and hurt you the most effective way that they possibly can. Like, where is the humanity in any of this, right? Because I'm sure that when she started messing with him, you know, he was love bombing her and had her thinking she was, prettiest girl in the world. You know what I'm saying? She was, she really thought that. She wrote a song, "Light skin is what he want." You know what I'm saying? And and then she turned out to be right back in the same situation that his other baby mama was in at the time, that he left her for her, you know? And that's another American proverb, right? Another American proverb. You lose them the way that you get them. And a lot of times on that back end, right, on that karma run, when you are losing them the way that you got them, it is often a lot worse than the initial situation, right? I mean, I don't recall seeing him blast the previous girlfriend on social media in that way. I don't recall seeing any of that. But this is where we are now, okay? So I just want to say, like, when it comes to these kind of situations, like, what was the motive from the beginning and what did you end up at, okay? Basically, I feel like if she really wanted him, right, she discounted herself. She discounted herself the moment she allowed him to be with her while he was with somebody else. If you really want to be the main dish, right? You really want to be the only dish. Forget the main dish, because ain't no you know ain't no side dishes going on here. Ain't no appetizers. Not with me, you know. Um, but if you really want to be taken seriously, you cannot allow anyone to play with you, right? Your heart is not here for play. Your body is not here for play. You have got to take all of that serious, because it's all experiences that mold you and they stick with you for the rest of your life. Okay? I mean, have you ever noticed that like high ticket items, they are priceless, rare, only a few made, right? You got a special edition Rolls Royce, they only made 350 of them. They are like 10 times the worth of value on that car is like 10, 20 times the amount of the value on another edition of a Rolls Royce where they are still constantly making them and everybody got one, right? Diamonds, there are millions and millions of diamonds on this earth, but they create a scarcity mindset around diamonds and the purity of the diamond and the cut of the diamond that allows them to price it and make you value it at a higher regard than it's really even worth, right? There's millions of diamonds out here. Like, you go to, they're Africa, they all up in the ground over there, okay? Whether they blood diamonds or not, however, it's a natural occurring stone that the earth is still constantly making, okay? But because of the motive behind the diamond, people pay top dollar for something that there's plenty of, okay? So what does this mean, right? This means that you got to make yourself priceless. I mean, let's even go to like the groundhog, right? Groundhog Day. The groundhog comes out and looks at his shadow once a year to let us know how many days we have left of winter. A groundhog. There is a national day assigned to this groundhog, this rodent. Okay? Everybody comes out to look at him and see, what does he think? A rodent. You mean to tell me that you and your presence is not more valuable than a rodent who just comes outside on this particular day of the year to see where the sun has set, to determine when he can come out of hibernation and live his best life? And all the science we got in the world, we are still following around this rodent. Think about it. Raise your price tag. Raise your value. Do not allow yourself to be discarded in such a way that it embarrasses you and lowers your legacy. This is going to follow this girl for the rest of her life and her baby. Okay? People will always associate her with the situation. Later generations may not be aware of it, but this generation that lived through it with her, we ain't gonna forget. Okay? You gotta ask yourself, what do you hope to get out of any relationship, right? And I want you guys to realize that when I talk about relationships, I'm not just talking about like the romantic relationship. When I talk about relationships, I talk about relationship in all aspects. It's romantic, but I also talk about relationships and relationship building for business, for networking, friendships, any type of relationship that you could build. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that cleared up. Okay. Put that in your footnotes. So, what do you hope to get out of the relationship? Okay. That is the first thing you have to ask yourself when encountering any opportunity to engage in any kind of relationship with anyone or anything. Okay. The next question you need to ask is, how does it serve you? If you get into a relationship, how does the relationship serve you? What do you have to gain from being a part of it? Okay? I mean, because I'm gonna say it again. It's all business. Okay? It's all business. Anytime you allow your feelings to get too involved in any situation, you are going to get some backlash. Something is going to happen because your judgment is clouded and you have to keep a clear mind. So it's all a business. Okay? It's all a game. Okay? Don't let your guard down too far. Always stay in perspective. Okay? Now, once you have asked yourself those questions, you got to think about, what do you have to do to achieve these results, right? Be strategic. Plan it out, okay? Once you do that, right? Like I said, this life is a business, okay? If you're going around living through life talking about, oh, I just go with the flow. If it's meant to be, it will be. No, that means you're letting everything and everyone else dictate your life for you, okay? You are letting the relationships that you get in determine the quality of life that you have. You have no control, and you have no hand in how your life turns out. You are allowing other people to have control of your destiny. Okay? These people that don't know you, they're always going to put themselves first. Okay? And the people that do know you, although they may put you first, or they may, you might be in the top 2 when it comes to you and them, you cannot depend on someone else to have more, what's the word I'm looking for? To have more compassion for you than you have for yourself. Okay? Do not depend on someone else to give you the best of them. They got to give the best of themselves first. You can't be the best mom or the best dad in the world if you're not putting yourself first. Because having a healthy sense of self allows you to have a healthy relationship with your children. It allows you to raise them in a way that is healthy and does not cause them to have more issues than they need to have when they become adults. Okay? And a lot of us raised our children at very young ages. I know I had my son at 20. We basically grew up together. And there's a lot of things that I would have done differently. And it's a blessing to me that he turned out the way that he did, because Lord knows we'd have been through the trenches together. And he is an amazing young man. And if you're listening to this episode, I just want you to know that I am very proud of you. You have surpassed everyone's expectations, despite everything, right? And you're on your way. You're great. I just had to throw that out there. But anyways, if you want to, you need to have a game plan, right? You need to have specific results that you want to achieve in life. And that starts with your motive, right? What is your motive? What do you want? Okay? Dani Leigh, when she got with DaBaby, what did she want from him? What were her expectations of him? Did she just want him just to have him? Did she want him just to prove something to the woman he was already with? I mean, looking at his track record, looking at the fact that he was cheating in the first place with her on somebody else that had just had a baby with him. How high were your expectations really? What did you really expect to happen? You know, what did she think she was going to get out of that relationship? He clearly made it very clear that he didn't hold her in the best regard. I mean, she was pregnant for 9 months and she didn't move in until she had the baby. Like, she said it in her own post, right? On her own social media, that they had been living together for the past 3 months since she had the baby. The baby's 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So you went through the whole pregnancy by yourself. I could not imagine that. I mean, I know women do it every day, and I commend you, because that, you got to be strong. You know, when I was pregnant with my son's father and I were together, and he was there for me every step of the way. He went above and beyond. I think that in itself is a reason why we were able to co-parent our son the way that we were able to, even after we were no longer together. Because what people got to understand is, like, the way you treat a woman while she's pregnant with your child, that sticks. It sticks. It creates whatever the future is going to be between the two of you. If you mishandle her while she's pregnant, while she's at her most vulnerable moments in her life, women die from childbirth. You know, the baby is sucking the life out of you in order to become a person. And if you mishandle the woman who's carrying your child, she can never trust you again in any way. And she might, play it off, but in the back of her head, you're going to always have the side eye. She's never going to trust you fully, and y'all going to have a problem, right? And so the fact that she didn't even move in until she gave birth, that speaks volumes to me. Like, why couldn't she be there while she was pregnant still? Who was running to the store for her to get her crushed ice from the gas station at 2:00 in the morning? She was getting out there doing it herself. Come on, y'all together though, right? For real? Come on, okay? That's a red flag right there. I mean, are you really surprised that things turned out the way that they did? Are you really? I'm not. Okay? I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg. Who knows what else was going on that we don't know about? I didn't even know she was pregnant, to be honest with you, but, learning all this right here, I can just imagine the drama. Sheesh, right? So basically, once you realize the minimum amount of work that you can put in to get what you want out of the relationship, do that, okay? Don't overcompensate. Do not overcompensate. People do not appreciate the overcompensation of any relationship, of any situation. They don't appreciate that. If anything, they see you as being vulnerable. They see it as an opportunity to see what they can get out of you, right? And if you ever notice, I'm not saying this is for everybody. Everybody's not like this, okay? But this is just like for the people who are. If you ever notice that the people who take advantage of people, they are giving the minimum. And they're giving the minimum to people that are giving the most. But then those people who are giving the minimum, they start giving more to the people who are giving them the minimum. So if you want to be on the receiving end of the more, you have to give less. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. This comes from somebody who went from giving more to giving less. And the less I gave, the more respect I received in my relationship. Okay. I'm not saying that it's like that everywhere and all the time. I'm not saying I'm going to be like that in my next relationship. But what I am saying is that in the past relationship, when I was giving more, I received less. And when I gave less, I received more. Right? But it's all a case-by-case type of thing. That's why you have to really get to know who you're dealing with. That's why you got to really take the time out to date that person before you put a title on your relationship and your situation with them. What is the rush? If y'all gonna be together, you're gonna be together. Okay? Take your time. Find out who they are. Who are they people? What are their experiences? Are their parents still together? What is his relationship like with his mama? What is her relationship like with her daddy? You know what I'm saying? They might tell you like, oh yeah, we got a great relationship. And then you start hanging out, you realize like there's something going on here. Find out before you commit yourself to somebody, and especially before you have a baby going on, and even more especially before you get married. Don't tie yourself down with nobody before you know who they are, because then you end up like this. You end up like Danny, getting kicked out of the house after taking a nap, after you've been up cooking and cleaning for a man. She said it in her post. Matter of fact, let me read it real quick. Okay, so this is what the post said right here. It says, hey guys, since baby want to put up a statement with his cap ass, I'll put mine up. So we've been living with each other for the last 3 months since our baby been born, doing us. And tonight, he want to come in the room talking about I need to go. Don't matter where I go. Mind you, I have a newborn child. So he said I can go to a hotel. This man is mad because I had a plan B sent to his condo because all he want to do is come in me with no responsibility. Obviously, he probably want me out so he can F on his baby mother and other hoes who been known we've been together this whole time while I just had my first child. This all goes to say that this man is effing coward. I'm sleeping after cooking dinner and he want to say I need to go? F you, baby. And damn, I really should have just listened to the cat ass internet about this man. I'ma learn and I'ma grow, but this right here ain't it. And I'm sorry to my baby that her father is kicking her out her home at 3 months. First of all, the fact that she got a plan B delivered to the house lets us know that she knows she don't want to go. She don't want to do it again for a reason. Okay, for a reason. Okay, she's starting to finally get it, but sometimes you get it too late. You get it too late, right? Okay, so guaranteed she put in too much effort, and that's why she ended up there. She'd been putting in the minimum. We probably would have respected her more, right? Made herself harder to be a part of his life. He would have, seen it as what's the word I'm looking for? Where was we at? He would have seen her as being priceless, right? And not just something he can toss to the side and get back whenever he feels like it, and come hump on her when he arguing with the other chick. You don't want that in your life. You don't want that. Okay? But anyways, once you realize the minimum amount of effort you need to give to get what you want, you got to continue to follow up, build the relationship, and then move on. If it's business, it's business, right? You have established what you want out of the contract or the partnership, right? You are giving what you're supposed to give. You're following up, making sure things are going the way they're supposed to go. You're building a relationship with them by staying in contact, but then you are moving on to other ventures, okay? And the same thing can go for everything, okay? Even romantic relationships, even relationships with family. Establish what you want to achieve out of it. Some people have great connections. Some people can put you in position with other people. They can get you into rooms. Get in those rooms, okay? And keep the relationship, to to where they can continue to put you in rooms, but you ain't got to give them your all, right? Some people are too loyal. When a person shows you their colors, fall back, okay? Don't give too much of yourself, okay? You're telling everybody your whole history, your whole childhood at work. You're at work telling everybody what's going on in your relationship at work. Right? You on social media, giving everybody, insight, a real life view of what's going on. You're giving too much of yourself. You're losing respect, right? People are never going to see you the same way again, and that can affect how people do business with you. You can lose sponsorship. You can lose opportunities. You can be very qualified for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, but because people know certain things about you, they don't want to work with you, okay? I was in a situation once before at a previous job. I won't say the name of the company because they don't deserve that clout, but I worked with a person, and she was nasty towards me. Bad personality. Very rude. Just because she had a higher position than I did and her salary grade was higher, she made more than me. She felt like she was above me. Fast forward a couple of years, I've gotten a free promotion myself. And now we're looking to fill a new position within our department because we have a need. I'm sitting in on the interview process. I'm sitting in on the meetings where it's like, who should we choose? Well, I know her personality. I know that in certain situations how she reacts. And I don't think she's a good fit for our department. And we did not choose her. So make sure that you always get your A game. Make sure that you always are prepared, right? Just because you have a motive, just because you are being strategic, just because you are planning, does not mean you have to burn bridges or be nasty towards anyone. You just gotta be professional, right? Be sincere, act in a way that makes people look at you in a way that says, okay, she don't play, but I respect her and I want her on my team, right? Don't give too much of yourself. When you give too much, people fall back. And then you end up like Dannileigh, child, getting kicked out your house, postpartum, with a newborn, because your baby daddy wants to go sleep with somebody else, because your vagina has not healed all the way, because that takes time when you push your baby out, because he never valued you from day one. So how do you overcome that? How do you overcome it? Well, first of all, you have to do things that make you unique, irreplaceable. Do things that make them seek you out and ask for more other than drain you, okay? That's why it's all strategy. It's why you got to plan it out, okay? If you're giving too much of yourself, they know your hot points. They know your buttons to press. They know how to get in your head. They know how to get to you, right? They know what to offer you. They know how to love bomb you. They know how to draw you in to get what they want from you. And then when they get what they want from you, then they discard you. You're drained. You don't even know what happened. But when you're strategic about how much of yourself you give out, and they are always kind of wondering what you're thinking and where you're coming from and what you're capable of, that makes you unique, right? If they don't know your full range, that makes you irreplaceable. And when the opportunity comes up, that makes them come looking for you. They come and seek you out, ask for your participation, okay? It makes you valuable. All right, you guys, that's all I have for today. This is a quick episode, but not really. I think this is about how long we normally go for. I'm getting ready for work, so I gotta go. But if you found this week's episode valuable. If you think you know someone who would benefit from listening to it, please share. Make sure you hit the like button and follow this channel or this page, whether you're listening to it on YouTube or on your favorite listening platform. Join our Facebook group, the Social Therapy Podcast, and join the conversation. And until next week, have a good week. Okay? Peace.